DC Comics Woke Fest toast with Paramount purchase of WBD. They toasted? Why would they toast? Oh, you mean they'll be toast? Well, all right. Yeah, possibly if Paramount wins this out with Ellison in charge. So with the Trump-backed... Look, I know that the guy's dad is good with Trump, but... But I take the point. But still, a purchase of Warner Brothers Discovery currently in the mix. The woke DC Comics era could be over. Will there even be a DC Comics era? I don't know. Fans have long criticized DC's direction in recent years for pushing identity politics, and the rumored Skydance deal could bring a course correction from the comics to the big screen. We've already been told that James Gunn will be out as head of DC Studios, and we expect the impact will be felt all the way down to DC Comics. Their lips disappeared. They flattened into one head. Woke DC replaced Clark Kent with his son John Kent and revealed him as gay and bisexual. Yeah, well, when they make a character bisexual, it means they're gay. They're never getting a girlfriend again. So in the series Superman, Son of Kal-El, the move made national headlines. Did it, but not for the reasons DC hoped. Fans accused the publisher of chasing headlines instead of telling good stories. Really? Yeah, that's what they did. The title saw declining sales and was eventually canceled after just 18 issues. See, he's hanging out with his boyfriend and they're protesting for climate justice, but there's this giant, Lovecraftian monster attacking the city, but he's too busy doing this. The push for identity-driven stories extended across DC from race and gender swap characters to social justice plots, alienating parts of the core fan base. Critics said DC had turned away from its roots, replacing timeless heroism with divisive politics. In September, DC canceled the Red Hood comic by Gretchen Felker Martin, a trans writer who celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. The series was pulled just one day after its debut, with DC issuing credits to retailers. Yeah, and this is before anyone took them over, so, But while official statements cited public comments inconsistent with DC's standards of conduct, THR's reporting said the decision came directly from Warner Brothers executives, not DC Comics editorial. That distinction matters. It shows that WB leadership, not DC itself, stepped in to halt the project, possibly signaling a new direction from the top. Donald Trump is already keeping an eye on changes under the Ellis's control via deadline. Speaking to reporters on Air Force One late Sunday, Trump asked them, "So who's going to be the head anchor of CBS?" He paused for a second and said, "Not Norah O'Donnell. I don't believe it. I don't believe it." Then Trump added, "Larry Ellison is great, and his son David is great. They're friends of mine. They're big supporters of mine, and they'll do the right thing. They'll make CBS. They called it the Tiffany Network, and it's got great potential. CBS has great potential." So, boy, they're really determined to take the, So Trump comments follow Skydance merger with Paramount and CBS. David Ellison has installed Barry Weiss, founder of the Free Press, as editor-in-chief of CBS News, a vocal critic of the woke left. That alone signals that what's coming. A broad move to depoliticize corporate media under Ellison's leadership, and cross your fingers, DC Comics could be next. They're going to cast Trump as Superman? If Paramount and Skydance complete the WBD purchase, we expect the Ellisons to purge the woke influence from DC Comics, which includes returning Superman to Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Under Gunn, American Way was dropped in favor of the Human Way. Gunn also attacks conservatives and his DC content equating nasties with people who love Jesus and stating a nasty world is no different than our own. Well, what does that say about you, Gunn? If the Paramount WBD merger happens, here's what that could mean for DC. Well, end of progressive storylines, focus on classic heroism, stricter oversight, new creators, rebranding of DC's image. In short, Trump's allies are poised to make DC Comics great again. Literally. Cancellation of Red Hood by WB Brass may have been the first sign. The Paramount deal could make it official. As Trump said himself, Larry Ellison and David Ellison will do the right thing. That might just mean the end of DC's woke era and the return of Superman's truth, justice, and the American way. Well, yeah, maybe, but it's not just, Trump and all this stuff. Everybody's broke because that's, the wages of woke. So now you got to go out and try to get people to, part with their money to buy your stuff. So one way or another, you're going to have to abandon this stuff. That's the way it goes. Or no more comic books. The choice, of course, is yours. Well, what do I know? I just spend my money on comic books, but not so much lately. And especially following Daniel Warren Johnson's little picture of Batman murdering an ICE agent. And then Scott Snyder signing off on it. The best in comic books right now, and this is true overall, story-wise and everything, are the independent comics. The likes of Mark Miller and Jeff Johns, his Ghost Machine comics. Those are great. Conan the Barbarian over at Titan. Check those out. And I don't know. There's no hope for Marvel whatsoever. Could somebody take over DC and turn it around? Yeah, but it's probably already too late. Well, time will tell.